So in this video today, we're going to look at potting balls along the cushions. So I've got a red ball here that's very close to this top cushion, and obviously when you've got balls that are close to cushions, they do require a little bit of extra attention and they can be a little bit trickier. So I'm on a colour in this situation here, so I'm on the black ball. Obviously I can't take the pink because it's tied up by this red, so I've got to try and pot the black and get myself onto a red. Now these four reds in the middle of the table here, none of these reds pot, they don't pot to the middle, and none of these reds go to the corners. So I'm going to have to, in this situation, play for this red on the top cushion here. So we're going to look at a few tips now and a few things to think about when you're playing balls that are very close to the cushions. So in this first example here, I've set myself up on this red along the top cushion, and what we'd be looking to do here would be to pot this red, probably leave a little angle on the black here so that we could play a cannon into one of the four reds above and then hopefully continue the break. But first of all, I just wanted to talk about something that I hear and that crops up quite a bit when players are playing shots along the cushion, and that is that you should play the shot with a little bit of run inside to make the pot easier. Now, run inside in this example would be left hand side. So I'll be potting this red, playing it with left hand side because that makes the pot a bit easier. Well, I'm just going to explain why you don't ever see the professionals play these shots with run inside. So if I was to play this shot natural ball, I would bounce off the cushion and leave myself reasonably close to the black ball for my next shot. But if I pop this red with left hand side, so I use the run inside that players talk about, the white will actually end up running away from me and running a little bit worse and further away to the side cushion. So if I show you that, then if I pop this red and we play left hand side, so you can see we did pop the red, but look at the white there. The white has run away from us, it's gone right over towards the side cushion, and that's not ideal at all now for playing a cannon on these reds or making the pot on the black any easier for us. Right, so we've just seen there that by playing this red with run inside, we actually made our position on the black ball much worse. So as I say, some people suggest that it actually makes the pot a little bit easier when you play with run inside. But in my experience, my results are exactly the same whether I play those shots with run inside or whether I'm just playing them natural ball with no spin on the white at all. So that moves us on to some tips with these shots then, and there are two things that you'll always see the professional players do when they're playing these shots. The first thing is that they will try to leave as small a distance as they possibly can between the white ball and the red ball. So they don't want the white too far away from the red ball because that makes the pot more difficult. And then the second thing that they'll do is they also try and just bounce off the cushion enough so they've just got the completely natural angle for them to pot that red ball along the top cushion and the white just bounce up naturally onto the black. So what they don't want to do is leave an angle where they haven't got much angle on it, they're quite straight on the red, and then they're having to force the red ball into the pocket. So if we just have a look at this first shot, if I was to roll this black in from here, so you can see that I have potted the black and I have got a shot on this red ball now, but you can just see that there's quite a bit of distance between the white and the red. So the professionals would just try and get the white a little bit closer to that red ball. So the way you would get that little bit closer is that you would actually here, I could just play a little bit of a stun shot and bounce the white on and off this top cushion here, just so that I leave my white a little bit closer to the red for my next shot. So if we just try that now. So it's the same shot, but just a little stun shot this time. And you can see that time that I've got the white a lot closer to this red ball now, which is going to make the cueing and the pot a lot easier on my next shot. Right, so that was the first tip there. So what the professionals are trying to do is, instead of leaving the white quite far away from that red ball, what they try and do is just get the white a little bit closer to the red ball, and then not only does it make the pot easier, it also makes it easier for them to control the white. Now, the second tip here, and the second thing that the professionals are doing on these shots, is they're trying to leave themselves just the natural angle so that the white will bounce off this top cushion and just bounce up naturally onto the black without them having to force the shot. So what you see a lot of players do is they get a little bit too straight on the red ball like this, and then they try and force the shot now so that they get lots of stun on it and stun up for the black. And it just means that you've got to hit the shot too hard and then it's unlikely to go into the pocket. Right, so instead of forcing the shot, what the professionals try to do is leave themselves a nice little natural angle so that they can play the shot nice and softly so that it gives the pocket much more chance to accept the ball, and then also it's just that natural angle so that the white will just bounce naturally up and finish nicely onto the black. So if we play this one, and just try and drop the red in gently. You can see that time that I didn't have to hit the shot hard at all, and the white has just naturally bounced off the top cushion there and left us nicely on the black. Right, so now we're going to try and put all of those tips together now. So I'm going to try and pot the black, get myself closer to that red so that it's a nice easy pot, leave myself the natural angle so I can just naturally bounce it off the cushion comfortably for the black, and then we'll try and play a little split into this group of 4 reds and hopefully leave ourselves on another red to continue the break. And there we go. This one doesn't quite go to the corner, but I've knocked this one over the middle nicely. So that's exactly how the professionals would try and play those shots. They'd try and leave themselves nice and close to the red ball that's awkward on the top cushion there, and leave themselves a natural angle to bounce off the cushion for the black, play that little gentle split, and then hopefully leave yourself nicely on a red like this so you can continue the break. Right, so we just had a look at potting these balls along the cushion when the object ball is absolutely tight against the cushion there. And by playing with a little bit of run inside, or whether we play the shot natural ball, it doesn't seem to make the pot any more or less difficult. But what we did find is that it can massively affect the position of the white. So in the first example, we played the shot with a little bit of run inside, and it actually made the white run over towards this cushion and didn't help us very much because it put us further away from the black ball. Well, in a situation like this, I've set myself up on this red now, and I've put myself a little bit too straight on the red. So sometimes even the professionals, they'll leave themselves where they've tried to leave that natural angle that we talked about earlier, but actually they haven't bounced off the cushion enough. So this time they're going to have to try and play the shot, and they haven't got the natural angle to just bounce up and get perfectly on the black. So what you see a lot of players do in this situation is they try to pop this red now, and they try and stun it really hard and stun the white up in a direct line onto the black ball. Now that's quite tricky because what it means is you're playing the shot very hard. You've got to be much more accurate with the pot, and at the speed that you're playing it, if you catch one of these jaws in the pocket, the red ball won't go in. So what I normally do on these kind of shots is I will actually play this shot with a little bit of run inside, but purely for positional reasons. So because I've finished too straight on this red, I'll try and pot the red, lots of run inside so that I come off these 2 cushions here, 1 cushion, 2 cushion, and bounce back out into the middle of the table. So let's have a look at the 2 different ways that players play it then. First we'll have a look at stunning it quite hard to try and get the white out onto the black, and then I'll flout one in with a little bit of run inside. So you can just see in that second example there, I was able to hit the shot much softer with a lot more control and get the white to just flick round off the 2 cushions perfectly onto the black. So it's just a little bit more of a reliable way of playing the shot so that you don't have to hit the shot very hard, which makes the pocket play much more difficult. So once again, hopefully a few tips in this video that is going to make life a little bit easier for you when you're potting these shots along the cushions. So we saw that by playing shots with run inside that people sometimes talk about, it doesn't actually make life any easier in terms of actually potting the ball. But what it does do is it can massively affect the position of the white ball. So we found that on our first example, it actually brought the white ball further away from the black, and it made life a lot worse for us by playing that little bit of run inside. On the second example there, when we finished a lot straighter on that red, so we hadn't got much angle to play with, instead of playing the shot really hard, we used a little bit of run inside, and that just flicked us off the two cushions and then brought the white perfectly onto the black ball. In this video, I also just wanted to do a quick reminder just to say that I am available for personal coaching sessions. I do one-to-one coaching, and I also do group coaching sessions. So if anybody was interested in booking that, just contact me on my email address or my phone number that's in the description below. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give the video a like, and if you want to see more instructional tutorials just like this one, then please subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Cheers.